Welcome. This is Bill Swartz in Scottsdale with Rideshare Redemption. My story from riches to rags to rideshare. Today I'm speaking about creating what I call the alt ride experience. What is the alt ride experience? Alt is alternative, so I'm talking about creating something unlike the usual, an alternative to the usual. And what is the usual? In my experience, the usual is a professional, quiet, safe ride with a good driver who does not speak unless spoken to. That is rideshare's product today. A bit like a McDonald's hamburger, but with less flavor. And based on the pay and platform requirements, every driver is within their rights to stay inside that hamburger box. In What is My Product, I outline my desire to set the stage for creating Kairos, or special timeless experiences for my passengers. In the 4 pillars of my ride, I outlined how I am creating an experience for passengers using the strategic elements of safety, state, subject, and spirit. Today I'm going over my process for designing a ride experience that is fundamentally different from all others. A non-scalable semi-custom one-off to end up with what is in effect an interactive performance space, a veritable mobile theater of information, presenting improvised, participative single-act plays for randomly generated audiences of one while traveling at high velocity. Blade Runner ain't got nothing on me. Let's get started. First step, my premise. My premise is that passengers want to be surprised. That, by definition, means they want an alternative experience. Let's face it, as human beings, we all share one thing in common. One thing. We all want to know what is behind door number 2. And at Rideshare Redemption, I am what is behind door number 2. Second step, my objective. My favorite speaker on the subject of creativity, Mike Vance, was at one time the dean of Disney University, working directly for Walt Disney. Mike teaches that an overwhelming rule of success is as follows: do what you do so well that other people want to tell other people how well you do it. Ken Blanchard calls that raving fans. That is my objective. I want raving fans who want to go find someone to tell about an experience with a rideshare driver that was unlike any other. Mike defines creativity as the making of the new or the rearranging of the old in a new way. To create this alternative ride experience, I am primarily using the system Mike teaches as my guide. If the goal is to have passengers tell other people about their experience with me, we must have what Mike calls the unique factor. The unique factor is likely the specific thing customers will rave about. The unique factor is the essence of what makes our product so different as to generate raving fandom in customers. In my case, the unique factor is me. More specifically, it is my intention. Think about that for a moment. In a highly commoditized market such as rideshare, where the only differentiator, if there is one, is price, just the intention to be different is in and of itself a value proposition. So how do I express my unique factor, my intention, through this ride experience in such a way that my customers literally work to find someone to tell about it? I return to the 4 pillars of my ride: safety, state, subject, and spirit. I'm interested in focusing my innovation on those areas where I can achieve a 10x or 10 times level of improvement in the customer experience. I consider safety and spirit and put them aside as categories I can't likely improve tenfold, which leaves me with state and subject. I now turn to those two as the focus of my 10xing process. Starting with state then. As a reminder, state can be thought of as the state of mind that exists inside the car, the energy and presentness of the atmosphere. It is intuitive and interactive. What I generated state influences the passenger, who in turn influences the state I'm creating, and so on. It is a multifaceted closed-loop feedback system, and it is the primary user interface for my product, Kairos, state. Before I innovate the state dimension, I start with a foundation, a base coat that fundamentally sets the stage for the impact of anything I lay on top of that. And my base coat is respect. Not an attitude of respect, but a show of it. Respect is a verb. Respect is a thing you do. Not a thing you think. It is something you show actively and enthusiastically. You give it before you get it. It is assumed. I respect you. If you truly understand respect, you know there are 1,000 tells that can speak it. I asked myself, how exactly would I greet my passenger in a way that instantly created awareness that the state in my car would be different, instantly, for every passenger? There's such a power in words. If you focus on selecting words to use with the same care you use in selecting a special gift for a loved one, choosing the one word which conveys the very essence of the love you feel for the recipient, in a sense, people will always know you mean everything you say. After analyzing what I was attempting to achieve, I settled on a greeting of one single word, a word which throughout the ages has spoken warmth and hospitality to weary travelers. And that one word is welcome. As they step into the car, I convey the state they can expect, answering the likely question in their minds, will my driver be nice? By using a greeting which is not associated with automobiles, but rather with inviting someone into your home or an inn. Welcome, with a presence that says, your peace of mind is now my responsibility. Delivered on top of a base coat in state terms of palpable respect, which they know is there. Having laid a foundation of respect and an opening that differentiates the ride's mood, in turn, I turn to discovering the ways I can come up with to engage my passengers, enticing them to take a swim in my oasis of safety and connective possibility. To do that, I use another tool from Vance called 5 Sensing. When 5 Sensing something, you take each of the individual 5 senses, sight, sound, taste, touch, and smell, and you brainstorm how best to engage your customer through each separately. I started with the sense of smell. This one faces the greatest limitation given the health and allergy issues inherent in various scents for some people. I determined here that the focus would primarily be on the lack of smell, no body odor, perfume, or smoke smells, and no cleaning or disinfectant smells. Yes to the use of the products, but not the smell of them. Next, sound. I happen to love classical music, so I keep the radio on our local classical public station, KBAQ. Whenever I ask if the passenger would like me to change it, every single one makes it clear they like it. I have never been asked to change it. That goes a long way to establishing state in my car from the get-go. Phoenix is not a classical music town. However, it is a town which respects elevated thinking. My use of classical lets every passenger know I'm operating at an elevated level, and it causes them to act in kind. Sound is a category I have big plans for in the future. Watch for videos on that specific subject related to creating transformative soundscapes for rideshare coming soon. For sight, I determined that anything gimmicky, such as smaller colored lights, was out. And given that I drive days primarily, that limits what I can do innovatively with light. So I turned to visually engaging information by placing a clear acrylic caddy on the back of the passenger seat containing a one-page professional profile featuring a high-quality photo of me, about 750 words of text in 3 columns, topped by the headline, "Driven to Exceed Expectations." Some passengers ask about it. Some take a copy. Almost all notice it. In it, I share candid and genuine dimensions of my personal and professional story. This has already paved the way for a breakthrough level experience for one passenger at minimum that I know of. Several others were deeply moved and said so. The contents and method of creating the profile as a takeaway piece will be shared in a video later this month. Finally, touch and taste. I knew I would start with the idea of giving my passengers something which, by taking it from me, would engage them physically through touch. Bottles of water are a hassle and a mess and are not in any way innovative. I thought about a container of hard candies that would engage taste as well. But I was looking for something bigger. I was looking for something iconic if possible. Something that could check off taste, touch, and the heart. I was looking for something that would make them feel. And then it hit me. Chewing gum. 1/2 of all Americans chew gum, generating sales of several billion dollars annually. Not only that, decades of emotionally resonant advertising has neurolinguistically programmed you to identify sharing a moment over a stick of gum with someone as deep personal bonding. The leading brand is Wrigley Doublemint, so that is what I use. Packaged in a plastic case, which I hand back to them over my shoulder, such as that, for them to open and extract a stick from. They then hand it back up to me. 1/2 accept the offered piece. 1/2. And every single one of them says thank you like they mean it. And most who don't take a piece say thank you like they mean it. And you can feel the impact on the energy. It's magical. The Alt-Ride Experience 1.0 thus far. A one-word greeting, welcome, delivered in an atmosphere imbued with palpable respect, intended to leverage the element of welcome surprise to create raving fans. Engaging the passenger and touching their heart and mind through their senses, classical music, an intriguing and open professional profile, a symbolic breaking of bread together through something as simple as a stick of gum, in an atmosphere lacking any distracting smell. We are left with the subject pillar, and that will be, pardon me please, the subject of the next video. With that, I humbly submit for your consideration as an offering of love to all who enter here, the Alt-Ride Experience. Peace.